Hi YouTube, it's Archon633 and today I'm bringing a review of the World of Nintendo 6-inch figures of Bowser and Donkey Kong. Now, it took me forever to try to get this done, especially since I was thinking of maybe doing it separately or together, and at the same time I just wanted to wait until I get a good Donkey Kong. There's a lot of problems with Donkey Kongs that I've been getting. There's been a lot of QC issues, and overall I think Bowser is definitely a better figure just in terms of actual function. Because for some reason Donkey Kong has been having a tendency of loose joints for the ones I picked up. One of them actually ended up breaking, so I had to get it replaced. So I don't know what Jakks Pacific was doing with these figures, but One major problem also is that my Bowser has a lot of QC problems. You can see here some of the paint is already coming off, and that's just came from outside of the box. It's got this really nasty white scratch alongside the joint there. And overall, there's just a lot of problems throughout the figures, even though they look really nice and I was really looking forward to them. It's just problems that these happen to have major QC issues, and I've yet to see a good Bowser ever since to maybe get this one replaced, but I'll make do with it. Bowser itself is pretty neat, which I'll go to first. He is definitely a really big scale, and I really like that he does scale with the other figures, which I will show in a minute. Articulation-wise, his head is pretty much static. His arms can kind of turn, but due to his nature of his big body, it doesn't do that much. His elbows can bend, but only about so much. His hands are supposed to turn, but for some reason, they're so tight on the joint, I'm scared of breaking it if I try to turn it. This one suffered the major problem, as you can see here. Unlike the other one, which bends down all the way, for some reason, my Bowser has a problem with this arm not bending all the way down, so it kind of slouches a little more outward, and it looks kind of annoying at times. His hand also suffers from the arm joint. It can bend about that much. And the other joints include his legs can turn 360 pretty much. Both sides can bend in and out, and his tail can turn as well. So for a big figure, it isn't much to expect since he does kind of do what Bowser can do overall in terms of the games and everything. But I just wish he had a better articulation points, and the QC issues wasn't an issue with my figure. Now we'll take a quick look at his box first. As you can see here, it's got a picture of Bowser, the Super Mario logo, and then shows that he's got 9 points of articulation, and the other figures are 9, including the Wario, which is yet to appear in my stores. But he does really look nice overall. Now we'll take a look at Donkey Kong. Now the reason why Donkey Kong is a problem is that for some reason on the other one that I got, this arm just completely broke off. And I don't know what the reason was, but the joints are just kind of awkward, and due to the nature of his body, it kind of weighs down like that, so it doesn't just stay in place like it should. It kind of falls down when you move it. So that's a major disappointment in what I think about the figure. Also, unlike Bowser, his head is articulated, but since his head is like extremely overscaled, it looks really odd at times, especially when he's standing upward if you wanted to, like this. So head just looks rather a little bit too big, but it's cool that they included his necktie. His arms are articulated, allows him full movement all around. Can bend at the elbow. And his hands actually can turn and bend like that. So it's got a good amount of articulation there, same with the other side. And then he's also got an ab crunch. So that's cool that they actually allowed him to have an ab crunch. And his legs can only go about that much. His feet can turn. So he's a little bit more articulated than Bowser, though. As stated before, for some reason he's got rather loose joints, so at times it's a bit strange to play with. Now, we'll take a look at his box. Unlike Mario's, his is in a yellow box, because, Donkey Kong in the yellow color. And on here, it says Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. So, that's cool. Back, as you can see, he actually has 10 points of articulation, the same figures, and this time it has Bowser instead of Donkey Kong. So, overall, these are some pretty decent figures, and I really enjoyed them overall. just to show a size comparison between all the figures released in this line so far, we have Yoshi, Mario, and Link. So he does scale pretty cool, and especially if you're a big Smash Brothers fan, this does a nice job putting them together and having at least decent figure representations of the character next to each other. But for some reason, these did a lot better in terms of presentation, since I had major QC issues with the giant 6-inch figures. Hopefully, if they make new figures for the giant 6-inch line, hopefully those figures are definitely better quality, since by then the line would have been going on further, since we already had about 6 figures, including Wario, coming out, and the small PVC figures if you consider Diddy Kong kind of the scale with Donkey Kong. But anyways, these are some really nice figures, and we haven't found any Toysrus or Target. I don't think Target's got them yet, or if they're going to get it, since I've only spotted them at Toysrus. They're around $14.99, so they're a bit pricey, and I think at one point they were $12.99, but they went up. But anyways, they're pretty decent figures, and if you find good quality versions, I say pick them up. Anyways, please kindly subscribe, check out Hero Taku, the associate podcast, Hero Talk, Hero News, WRW. Also check out Rajio and the other channels down below, and I'll see you YouTube. Bye.